Hey everyone, welcome back to your weekly Toronto real estate market update. One of the questions I get asked most often is, Fred, what's going on with the market right now? And my answer to that would be, well, it depends if you're coming in with the perspective of a buyer or a seller. And no matter which side you're on, these are some of the facts that you're going to want to know coming right up. Hey, what's up? If you're here joining me for the first time, my name is Fred and I'm making these videos every single week, bringing you real estate news and real estate education. Now, if you're here watching for the first time, we talk about the Toronto real estate market and we get right into the numbers so that way you're getting the most accurate information available. So if you're new here, consider subscribing to our channel and let's dive right into the content, starting with last week's numbers. The first market segment that we're going to look into is single family homes, which can include detached homes, semi-detached, and freehold townhouses. Compared to the previous week, sales fell down by 18%, down to 111 homes sold. And I actually expect this number to go up once more information is updated into MLS. And to help put that number into perspective, we're actually used to seeing over 400 homes sold per week during this time of the year. You can see where the market peaked at the beginning of March and then quickly fell for 2 weeks straight, with sales falling by 68%. But at this point, it doesn't seem like home sales are falling any further, which could also mean that seller and buyer confidence is starting to go back up. This information brings up a question that I get asked quite frequently, which is, will there be a summer real estate market as lockdown measures get lifted and businesses start opening up? And my answer to that is that it's still too early to tell what the summer will look like at this point. However, some external factors can actually influence buyers' decisions to re-enter the current market. Canada's mortgage stress test is expected to see a rate drop as early as next week, bringing the rate to 4.99%. And this will be the first time ever since the program started back in January 2018 that the benchmark rate will be lower than 5%. Another factor that buyers and sellers should be considering is that the average home prices were starting to fall. The average sold price in Toronto last week reached $1.36 million, just 14% shy of the highest weekly average earlier this year in February at $1.57 million. Also, keep in mind that when we're looking at these numbers, it's for all of Toronto, so individual communities can actually have higher or lower prices. To get a better understanding of the prices of where you live or where you're looking to buy, leave a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you. And what's really interesting here is that last year's weekly average prices were higher than this year for a few weeks, but it looks like it might have been only a short-term trend with the prices on their way back up. The second market segment that we look into every single week is condos, which is important to look at in isolation and review on its own because the trends are very different from the rest of the market. For 4 weeks straight, condo sales were rising by an average of 11% per week. Condo sales are down to 103 last week, which is a drop of 77% from the peak earlier in March. And during that time, we were seeing more than 450 condos sold per week. A lot of people talk about the spring real estate market, and here you can really see how the spring market normally is supposed to look like, and the impact of COVID-19 has changed everything. But I would expect condo sales numbers to rise even for the last 4 weeks as more information gets updated. In fact, condo prices are also seeing an increase over the past 4 weeks. Condo sales sold last week for an average price of $677,000, which is only 9% down from the highest point earlier this year. And this is higher than any time we saw last year during the first 5 months. So this brings up the question of where are home prices going? And we'll get into this in just a moment because first I want to share with you the new homes that got listed onto the market and compare them against the homes that were taken off the market. New home listings are starting to see a rise in both market sectors. Single-family home listings are up 5% at 256 last week, but still below the weekly average of 316 from this year. Condos have been doing extremely well with an 18% increase at 456 new listings last week, which is higher than the weekly average so far this year. Homeowners that are selling right now are either getting prices that they're happy with, or they're selling for values less than what they hoped for because market values have actually gone down. And we anticipate that some of those sellers will be entering the market as buyers. So what does that mean? If sellers are entering the market as buyers because they need a new home, then this can actually create more buyer competition. And for those who are in a rush to buy, like the ones who just sold their homes, then they're extremely motivated to make sure that they can buy a new home, especially before the transaction closes for the sale of their home. So this could be another reason why we're seeing prices go up. For some other buyers, they might not be in a rush because there's no immediate urgency for them to move. so they're okay sitting on the sidelines and waiting for this pandemic crisis to resolve. But I suggest proceeding with this type of action with caution, knowing that prices and competition might be on the rise. And if you're getting value out of this video, hit like and subscribe and keep updated every single week. So we covered a lot of updates today. We know that as homeowner confidence increases and they re-enter the market to put their homes up for sale, they also might re-enter the market as buyers. And because this can create more competition for buyers who are already active in the market, this can also have an impact on market values, shooting up the prices with increased competition. We're also seeing new homes listed on the market outpacing what's being taken off the market, which is another sign of seller and buyer confidence. And this is information that's changing every single week. So if you actually want to get the latest updates on what's happening with the Toronto real estate market, new episodes are released in the series every Monday. There's an entire playlist, and I'll link it up in the YouTube card up here. Check it out and also subscribe if you're gaining value from this video. I'll also put the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next Monday.